We are calling Dennis.
Dennis!
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Dennis. This is Paul, Outsider Tackle Box radio show and podcast. I got my good buddy, Tommy's here too.
Hey, what's going on, Dennis? How you doing, bud?
How you doing, Tommy?
I'm all right.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for sending in the photos. We're spreading happiness to the world through the joys of fishing. Fishing is therapeutic for a lot of people, and it's just good fun. And Tommy and I are dressed as sharks because this week is the last couple of days of Shark Week 2019.
That's right.
So it's hot in the shark hats, but we're inside of them.
Yeah.
My idea of shark fishing is you go with a gun.
There you go.
Well, Tommy looks like he's that shark you think that you can get away from. Because you're like, there's no way that shark could move any faster.
Are you saying I'm a dumpy
than a snail?
I'm a dumpy, lumpy shark.
No, it's you. It just looks like you're not the fastest shark.
I'm not.
Like, you're definitely not Mako. Makos are the fastest shark there is.
I'd be one of those sharks that just sits there with his mouth open waiting for something to swim by.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, I think those are whale sharks.
Yeah, oh, okay.
They just open their mouth.
You only have to swim faster than the next guy next to you.
That's exactly true. Because if I was a shark, I wouldn't be swimming at all. I'd just sit there and be like, something's got to come my way.
Well, how's everything with you? I know that you are recovering from surgery, so let's check in on how that's going. How's the process?
It's going good.
Good.
I went to the doctor yesterday. He had to drain some fluid out from the operation. The swelling's down. He kind of yelled at me. He doesn't want me walking around as much as I did. So I got to take it easy this weekend.
Oh, man.
But Monday I can get back to walking. But no, it worked real good. He did a real good job. The pain's gone. It's just swollen. I'm old. It takes a long time to heal.
Well, you know what, dude? That's great. I mean, it's good to hear that you're healing up right and everything's good.
Oh yeah.
How dare doctors think that they know what they're talking about by yelling at you because you were up walking around?
Well, it sounds like a perfect fishing, ideal for fishing. You can't walk, so just get yourself.
Just carry me to the boat. I'm going
to go fish. There's no walking. There's not too much walking involved.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. Because I am not the most into exercise.
All right, so you sent in a couple of photos of, actually, I put up some photos from your profile, but I know that you went sturgeon fishing, and that was the story that you gave us. So let's hear a fish story from you, and the bass in the photo that you sent us. That looks like a pretty nice size bass, so if you want to share that with us too. But this is your fish story. It's your turn.
All righty. Well, I used to live up in Algonac, and I lived on Circle Drive, and we had a dock that we were allowed to use. And we would go at the end of the dock at around 10 o'clock at night, because if you're there around 8:30 to 9:30, the mosquitoes come out and they just attack you. Well, by the time 10 o'clock comes, they kind of disperse a little bit so you can actually fish. So we're at the end of the dock, and we started catching some small sturgeons. We caught a couple 2-footers, 2.5-footers, and I don't know if you ever caught a sturgeon, a small sturgeon.
We tried.
We tried on the Columbia River. We did not. However, we had a great time. We did catch a good buzz.
They were biting, but we did not.
Well, they're just solid muscle.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What the smaller ones will do is they curl themselves. So as you're trying to pull them in, it's like a corkscrew. So they feel 20 times bigger than what you think they are. It's like foul hooking a little perch on the back. You're bringing them in. You're thinking, oh, my God, I got a huge one. And next thing you know, it's a 6-inch perch. You're like, what happened?
Oh, man.
So we caught a couple of them, and then next thing you know, they get a hit. I set the hook, and this one was definitely different because this one just started to go out into the middle of the channel. This is up the Nelganac, up the North Channel, which is part of the St. Clair River. And it's about 25, 30 foot at the front of the dock. So, we start fighting them and that, and I'm fighting them, and I'm like, man, I've caught these before, but this one seems a little large.
Yeah.
So after about 40 minutes and that, my arms started getting tired, and I looked at my friends. I had two buddies there, Joe Vitale and Ed Stahersky, and I handed him the pole, and I said, here, you fight him for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
My arms are done.
You said that when you said 40 minutes, I'm thinking, oh, man, I don't know.
Yeah, and the whole time, he's swimming upriver.
Yeah.
They're the only fish I ever caught that will swim upriver. Even the salmon will turn around and go with the current after a little bit. They'll make their initial run, but then they turn. The sturgeons, they just keep going, and that's how I knew. I said, no, he's going out. It's a sturgeon, guys.
Oh, man.
And so my buddy Joe fought him for about 20 minutes, and he's not much of a fisherman, but he's a good guy to have around, And
That's how I feel about Paul.
So you can't deny him. You gotta go. So we handed it over to my buddy Ed, and he's fighting him for another 20 minutes. And I'm thinking, Dan, how big is this one? And then I get the pull back, and again, I'm like 30 minutes on it, and then I look down at the reel, and I have a Penn 209. Mm-hmm. I have 350 yards of line on it, braided line, 60-pound test with a 60-pound metal leader, because a lot of times we'll get pike and muskie off the dock, so you always got to have a metal leader.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and it's getting low. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I never get this low before on my reel. You know when your reel's getting low.
Yep.
And so I hurried up, and my boat I park it over by my parents' house because they're home all the time. They can watch it.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he's on a canal, so it's better than being on the river. It doesn't take a beat. So I run 2 doors down to my friend Tony, and I'm banging on his door. I wake his butt up. It's almost, I don't know, a little past 1 now. Mm-hmm. And we hooked him roughly around 11, maybe 10, 30, 11.
Oh, man.
And so now he gets up, he goes, what? And I go, hey, I got to use your boat. I got to go chase down this fish. He's there. I'll be there in a second. Boom. I swear to God, he must gone to bed with his clothes on. I never seen him ever move that fast in my life. Now we get in the boat, and we got to get to the dock to pick up the other guys in the pole, and we're trying to watch the line. We don't want to run over the line. We get there, we get the pole in the hand, and now everyone's in the boat, and we're chasing the fish down.
Oh, man.
And it's only a little 12-foot rowboat we got with a 15 horse on it.
That's beautiful.
You imagine 4 big guys in there, and we're, bringing in the fish. We fought them for another, oh my God, I don't know. It ended up being about 4 hours before I finally got them to surface.
Oh, man.
And once I got them to surface, I brought him alongside the boat. And as he kept coming alongside the boat, our eyes were just bulging out. Never seen a fish this big. Never caught one this big. His head was at least 1.5 to 2 foot long.
Oh, wow.
And that's just the head of the sturgeon. And we're bringing him alongside the boat. And we're in this 12-foot boat. And all of a sudden, his tail's still in the front of the boat. And I'm like, I'm maybe about another foot here before I'm running out of the boat.
Yeah.
Man.
And we played him so long, because this is the first time I ever had a sturgeon do that too. He just sat there on the top. He was tired.
Yeah.
And so now we got our little beamer lights on and that. We're looking at him and that. My buddy Joe, he's cracking up. He grabs the fillet knife, puts it in his mouth, goes, "You want me to jump on him?" I'll get him. We're laughing again.
Yeah. Real brave after the fish is tired.
And then, and then I'm a true fisherman, I'm looking over the side and someone grab my fish for me. I did all the work.
Yeah.
nobody want to put their hands near them.
Yeah.
And so we're watching them, and we're trying to figure out what do we do. Because now we got a fish as big as the boat. Yeah, and you can't bring them in, and we're looking around like, what do? We don't know what to do. And I'm telling you, it was a good 5 minutes, maybe a little longer. He finally revived a little, and this thing when it came up, you gotta imagine. You ever see a telephone pole, and as it comes up, or a big log comes up, and you see the water pour off the back of it?
Off the back of it,
This
yeah.
is what that thing looked like when it came up. It was as round as a telephone pole. We were like, oh my gosh. And anyway, he ends up reviving, and all he did was take his head and his body and flip, snap that line like it was 6-pound test.
Oh man.
Couldn't believe it. And he took off, and we're like, oh my God, what a story. Nobody will believe us to that. This is before cell phones and cameras and everything,
Oh yeah.
You just went out and fished, when you got home, you took the pictures.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you have buddies there to confirm your story.
Oh yeah, and then we get back and I had this old man that lived across the street from me, and I went over there and he was telling me, what was all that noise last night? I could hear you guys all night. I'm like, well, we went down to a sturgeon. He goes, oh yeah? He goes, how big? I go, I don't know, 10, 12 foot. It had to be something like that. I go, we didn't know what to do. And he looked at me and he goes, oh, you kid don't know nothing. I'm like, what? He goes, you go out there with a hanger, you put it through its gill and bring it down through the vacuum mouth on the bottom, tie it up, then you take it and you tie it to your rear cleat of your boat, and then you drag them home. You don't ever bring them into your boat. You bring them up to the seawall. You don't go to the dock, and you pull them up right onto shore. And I said, well, that's good to know now.
Yeah.
Now I got to... So now when I go fishing, believe it or not, I do have a coat hanger.
That's beautiful.
And you should see the look when the game warden stops by and they check you out and that, and then what's the coat hanger for? Well, you never know. Might have to hang up a coat.
Yeah. It gets cold. I gotta hang my coat.
Yeah, I gotta hang my coat. It might get cold.
That's beautiful. It's nothing like the wiseness that comes in from the old fishermen. You're just kind of waiting around, and then you just learn something new.
What's the hanger for? That's nothing. You should see where I had the coat rack. What?
you should see the coat.
I sent you of the sturgeon. That one I caught with 2 broken fingers in that, and that's another story. But I was fishing for walleyes, and I hooked them. And that one, though, because I was in the boat, and it was a smaller one, it took only about 40 minutes to get in.
Yeah.
And but it was fun.
Still a 40-minute fight is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I'm out there. I was drifting in the middle channel now.
Mm-hmm.
And when he hit, it was just like a line. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, give him 2 feet of line, let him eat a little bit, and then boom, set the hook. I set the hook, and my pole just went boom. I'm like, what? I thought it was a mistake at first. Then the light starts going out, and what it is when you hook them really good like that, they're swimming so strong. He comes flying out of the water. I'm in 35 feet of water fishing, and this thing comes jumping out at least 100 yards in front of the boat.
Oh man!
And just like you see the sailfishes and that, the whole tail, everything, just right out, and you're like, oh my God, he's on my line,
Yeah.
and so I'm drifted, and I'm trying to fight them, and I got 2 broken fingers. I'm trying to reel them in,
Ouch.
And then my buddy Jim, because there's 4 or 5 of us. We fished every day.
Yeah.
Every night. We all know each other. We're all good friends. We'll tie up boats and fish together and that. We don't have a problem. And he comes around the corner and he sees me. And I'm there, and I'm waving my arm. You know how you wave your arm? Like, no, go away. Go to the side. Not knowing I got a fish on. And it's, 200 yards away from the boat, I mean, it's not like he's right there. He's I'm trying to wave, and then he's like waving back to me, like, "Hey, what's up, D?" I'm like, "Oh no,
Go away!"
Finally, he gets up close enough he can hear me yelling, "I got a fish on! Get over to the side!" So he come over to the side, tied his boat up to mine, and that hopped in. And I said that, I go, "It's a big one." I go, it's a nice size one. I go, and then he goes, "Well, get him in. And we get him in, and he ended up, netting him. And like I said, it took about 40, 45 minutes to get him in.
That's awesome.
And so we get him in the boat. Now, this one's just legal size, just made it by like a quarter inch.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the boat. And so this one's, like I said, 40 inches, something like that. I forget what it was. But
yeah.
Anyway, the thing gets in there, and we're standing, and I had a deep V Sylvan fishing boat. So,
Okay.
it was a good thing it was the deep V, because that thing ended up taking its tail and hit me in the back of the knees.
Oh, man.
Almost flipped me out of my own boat. If I didn't have that tall rail to grab onto, you know what I'm saying? If it would have been a short boat,
Yeah.
I would have been swimming.
You would have been swimming.
Oh,
man.
You would have been in the boat looking at me like, what the hell? So,
Well, Dennis, this has been a great time. I've actually had a lot of fun listening to the stories. And you know what? You're more than welcome to come back on the show anytime. Just keep sending in those pictures.
Yeah, and we're going to send you some free stuff for coming on the show.
Yep.
It's just offline. Send us your mailing address, and we'll send you some free tackle.
Yeah.
And from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, tight lines.
Tight lines, bud. Fish more. Take care, Dennis. Have a great one, man. And good luck on a good recovery, man.
Yep. Keep your lines wet and your bows bent, buddy.
That's it, man. That's it. All right. Take care, Dennis. Have a great one.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
Nice talking.
Good talking. Bye-bye.